Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of I Was There starring Dave Munoz. I'm Chris Grant Jr. and Dave is going to take us, as he always does, through some legendary rock and roll moments. Today I'm sure you can see we have a picture of Alice Cooper here. You know there's going to be a story behind it. So let's start with where did you first see Alice Cooper? Was this taken at the first time that you ever saw him? Tell us about that day.
I had seen Alice a couple times before and learned a lot about his shows too. One thing real unique about Alice was he always had just a kick-ass band. I mean, he assembled a band that was just unbelievable. This particular tour, which was 1980, and I just moved to Las Vegas. I had to get a big boy job because it was about that time of my life. The Aladdin Hotel, which is no longer in Las Vegas, housed a lot of concerts, Alice Cooper being one of those. In fact, the next night, Elton John was playing there. But anyways, with this particular show, I wanted to go see Alice just because I love music and I knew Alice always put on a great show, so which was kind of cool. His band, this particular time, featured Davy Johnstone on guitar, who played a great deal with Elton John. But another guy on guitar too, and I see we have a picture of him right here, is Steve Hunter. See him playing the single and double neck guitar. Steve Hunter is one of my favorite guitar players of all time. In fact, what I remember most about him was he was with the Lou Reed Band. And if you've ever heard the song Sweet Jane, there is probably a 2-minute intro into Sweet Jane that's all, sounds like 5 guitar players. It's just Steve Hunter. If you've never heard that, please write it down and check it out as soon as you get done with this episode, because I think it'll blow you away. It's not the wild riffs or anything else, it's just the melodic flow and really how Steve plays and jumps single to double neck, and I'm sorry, jumping from 6 to 12 strings, playing that is just incredible.
Wow. Okay, so you get there. What was the atmosphere like? What was the venue like? Just put us in that place. What was it like with you, with your camera, getting ready for the show?
Yeah, there's always more than just the music. Although the music could stand by itself with Alice, or Vince Fernier, yeah, as his parents call him. But with Alice, I mean, really kind of a normal show, except for the babies on the ends of spears, guillotines, birds, snakes. So aside from that, it was really kind of an average show with Alice.
Sure, right.
But it's really a theatrical production as well as good music. Some people will often overlook the music component for the concert and say, yeah, he just puts on wild shows, and yes, he does. But his music component is very strong.
What do you think of Alice as a vocalist and musician in comparison to like the Freddies and the Steven Tylers and those guys? Like, I know there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of show that goes on there, and you said the music could stand on its own. Him as an artist, do you feel like he needed all that extra stuff to amp it up, or his voice in particular? How was that in comparison to other rockers?
Well, part of it too is I think Alice really was on the very beginning stage of the punk movement. Okay. When you saw people back in the day, this was going on. You saw Bowie going a little sideways with some of his outfits and things like that too, and a couple other bands. But Alice was really trying to break through barriers that had not been before, and I really think that he had a lot to do with the punk movement following this. In the early '80s or so with the Ramones and a lot of other the Dead Kennedys, and I mean all those that came out of the punk movement. But I think he was really the predecessor for that too, when people started seeing that.
So obviously we have this photo here.
Yes.
It looks iconic, and the fact that no one has seen this before. What's the story behind this photo and this moment? How did you get? I mean, he's looking seemingly right at you. Is that what's happening?
Well, again, with the camera that I used, in order to get a close-up like this, I had to be within 5 feet of my subject, maybe even closer. But Alice has so many light changes. There's so many things going on an Alice Cooper show. You almost get dizzy. It's like the circus too, with everything going on. He had a lot of red spotlights, and whenever you're focusing, especially with a manual camera like I had, red was always the hardest color to focus in. So whenever as I'm sitting there with the camera trying to focus in on him, whenever it went red, I just kind of backed up a little bit because I knew I wouldn't get a clean shot from experience. And I thought I had him with one of the shots, and all of a sudden the lights go out. And excuse me, but I said, fuck, kind of loud. Alice got down on one knee, no more than a couple feet away from me. Lights are out. And I'm right in front of the stage, and Alice is on one knee. And he said, when the lights come back up, he goes, you'll get your shot. And I said, great. So, I mean, I'm set. The lights come back up, and he's got, you can see the crutch in the hand. He's looking directly at me. And I took a couple, and he goes, did you get the shot? I said this on the mic. Did you get the shot? And I said, yes. And he goes, right on. And went right into the song. We're eye to eye here. You know, it was really a cool moment. I get, you know, some chills sometimes just thinking about that too.
I mean, this is serious. So you got the meet and greet during the concert.
Yeah.
With Alice Cooper. In that, I mean, you talk about getting close and intimate with a musician. Here, all the lights are off. It's just you and him, that voice just saying, and you know he's talking to you, and then the lights coming up, and then him checking to confirm with you. That's incredible stuff.
Oh, it was the best. Like I wrote in my book too, Alice, if you ever happen to see this, please, I'm a 2 handicap. I'm a Division I golf coach. I know you're a big golfer. I'd love to play 18 with you, Alice. Please know that.
I'm just curious to know, because that's so cool. Where does that rank in your moments, like in your great moments?
It's probably my top 10. Yeah, I'd say without a doubt my top 10. Wow. My wife and I went to go see Alice Cooper about 2 years ago. He was playing with Van Morrison and Willie Nelson here in Pittsburgh, PA, where we currently live, and that was a crazy show. But again, Alice does not disappoint, man. He brings it every time.
Wow. You were there with the camera, and you got an amazing shot, like every single one of these. Not just the photos, but the stories that they tell. So
I think I've always kind of followed along the Wayne Gretzky philosophy, the great hockey player. It says you miss 100% of the shots you never take. And that was one of those too, and I thought that, you know, the reason I was so close to the stage, and as I recall too, I got a little bit of heat from the usher doing that. And I said, no, that's okay, I belong here. Well, I don't know where that came from, but anyways, just getting that shot, it was just, it's moments like that I feel so blessed that I was able to experience throughout my life.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing yet another moment that nobody gets to experience, and just for capturing the moment on your camera, always being there, and then having this awesome photo to show. So more exclusives are coming, more awesome photos and stories behind them here with Dave Munoz and the I Was There story. Much more to come. I'm Chris Grant Jr. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.